Hi, it's Pat Sloan. I'm back here with my table topper, and I did my last video showing you some of my walking foot quilting based on Teach Me to Machine Quilt, my book. So I'm going to show you another part of using it on this table topper, and this is a panel. So if you remember on the last video, I was working up here in the red section because with a walking foot, and this is the walking foot, you only have, so much range of movement, but you can do amazing things with that range of movement when you're just using a walking foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch down here and then up here and over here and back to that point, which will be completing the outlining of these hearts. So let me go ahead and do that. What I'm aiming for is the point. So I'm going to the point of the heart. It doesn't have to be right on it, but it could be. And then I'll rotate. And then what I'm doing is aiming for the top of this triangle unit, because that gives me a place to direct what I'm doing. So I'm basically at the top of it. Shift, I'm going to go down to the point on the heart. So this gives me that sort of triangle unit as I'm going along. Shift. And you see with the walking foot you have to move your quilt a lot more. Okay, so I'm coming back up to where I started. Alright, now, at this point, I have all this open area between these larger sort of triangle pie shapes. And what I'm going to do is take it down to this heart and then back. And so basically I'm going to be outlining them in a wide sort of area. And that gives more definition so that that area is all locked down and you don't have it all floppy. And then rotate. And then once again I'm shooting for top of that triangle. Now what that does do is leave that whole triangle area unquilted. Now this is a table topper, so it's not going to be washed a whole lot, or it can be washed gently. So I may go back. Okay, let's stop at this heart here. So let's look at this shape. So this shape will be unquilted. I could come back in on maybe, quilt along here. Or I could just take it straight up to the top if I wanted to. Or just leave it. That's what I did on the top part, is I just left those shapes. So I would continue along until I hit the beginning again. But before we finish, I want to tell you about this area for the table topper. I did an outline here and an outline here. At this point, this is not quilted, but I'm going to do at least one down the center. I may decide to do two instead of just one, because if I do two, it gives you a little bit more definition. I also, if you want to come right out to this edge, I did a big basting stitch. That way, as you can see, I was able to trim away, and my panel wasn't as big for all that rotating, because as we're doing this here and we're going around and around, you have to turn the whole unit, unlike free motion quilting, where you could basically go wherever you want and the panel would stay stable. When you're using your walking foot, your panel all has to be rotated. So I'm going down to that point. And this was another look at how you can take your walking foot and go ahead and do all kinds of projects and actually all kinds of designs using the designs that are on your project. Could be your block, could be applique, or could be with the panel like you're practicing. It could just be shapes on the panel. So I'm Pat Sloan, and there's a lot more in my book, Teach Me to Machine Quilt, and watch my other videos.